You're busy, you've got a decent practice, but nobody wants to be decent. You want to be great, and you want to have a great practice. So how did the most productive, profitable dentist in the nation balance real life, work, and profits, and somehow make it all seem fun? Well, it comes down to simple, everyday practices. So grab a lunch, join us as we chat with top clinicians and influencers to discover their formula for uncommon success. Are you ready? Then it's time to explore everyday practices.
Welcome to a special edition of Everyday Practices podcast. I'm Chad Johnson, and I'm at the International Dental Implant Association's Hawaii Symposium 2020 with legendary Dr. Arun Garg, who needs no introduction. So, Dr. Garg, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, this won't be a long episode because I know your time is precious, and a lot of people know that. I mean, you're burning the candle at both ends. I think you're heading to Boston next. Is that right?
I am.
And that's for like a continuum.
That's one of the continuums.
Yep.
4-session continuums to kick off. Yes.
Yeah, very cool. And so for the people that are just kind of getting to know Dr. Garg or might have heard of his name and renown and whatnot, but don't necessarily know much about. So the first four courses, first four weekend courses that you can take is the continuum, and then after that, people can do the mastership. When they do that and the tests and all that stuff, and go to the Dominican, then eventually they can also earn their diplomate status and stuff like that. So just so that way people have an idea of what the coursework in the different names mean. At first, I didn't know.
Sure,
so there's continuum, mastership, and then the diplomate. So I just found out that you own, or that you're even building with Jason, the architect that I just met, your 6th or 7th practice. Do you even know the number right now, or how?
What do you have? 7 practices now.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay, and are they all Florida-based?
They were. So 4 of them are South Florida.
Yes.
Within driving distance of home. One of them is in Phoenix and Scottsdale.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's kind of our newest acquisition.
Yeah.
It was an existing practice, 10 chairs.
Yes.
And that was from one of my course alumni. He had 5 offices there. He decided to sell one of them, and this was the one for sale. This was his headquarters, his original office.
Yeah.
And so he had built there about a 20-person break room because the monthly meetings for everybody.
I have that problem.
That's what they would do it at that break room. For me, I don't have 5 offices. I don't need a 20-person break room.
Right.
But I do courses.
Yeah.
So now I can have a practice there / a classroom. So when I do my courses in Phoenix, lowers my overhead.
That's kind of ringing a bell. Yeah, very cool. And
So
it's a hub because you love traveling to hubs.
So what happens? A hub, I don't have to rent a hotel room for it.
Yeah.
Will be easier to do live patient surgeries
Yes,
and things
of course.
because the classroom and the 10-chair operatory is right there.
When are you thinking about
that's-
getting that? Like, when is that going to start
It's
up?
operational.
Is it already?
That's our newest.
And I didn't know that.
We
Isn't
got
that
it
crazy?
5 months ago.
5 months ago. Very cool. Okay. Now, it's just a side question, but you're out of Miami.
Yes.
And so is there a direct flight straight to Phoenix, or
Yeah.
does it go
Yes.
through Dallas-Fort Worth
No, direct
first?
flight.
Good, of
Yes.
course. So if someone were wanting to start a second office, and these are for, there's a lot of people that are perfectly content, and they should be, with, just killing it in one office. But there are a few people that end up being crazy enough, like you and me,
Right.
to do a multi-office. What advice do you have for someone that's opening a second practice or starting to get into the multi-office? I mean, how do you make that work?
I got to tell you, number one, I didn't. I built my
You're
first
like, I didn't
office.
ask for that.
No, my first office was, I started from scratch. I custom designed it after I left the university.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, it just sort of happened.
Yeah.
There was a guy in my class, he'd been in practice 40 years in the same office, and now he's looking to retire, cutting back. He didn't want to sell it. He wanted to cut back from 5 days a week to 2 days a week. Yeah. And I'm thinking of selling. I said, well, how much? And it was such a nominal amount. I was
You
like
couldn't
floored.
say no.
Yeah, I was floored.
Yes.
And I asked him what the revenue and such was, and it was a healthy paycheck he was taking home because his overhead he'd gotten down, so minuscule.
Yes.
And I said, well, okay, I'll do it. And I was doing it more like a lark, like, okay, it'd be kind of cool also to see how it works. So when people ask me, how does it work with the second
firsthand.
Yes, okay. And it went phenomenal for me because from my courses, I hired a guy to cover the other 3 courses. Other 3 days. So it was very easy. This guy kept on working 2 days, hired someone else in the course to work the other 3 days. This guy wasn't doing rotary endo. Obviously, I had a younger guy that does rotary endo.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing socket preservations. Young guy does that.
Were you doing any clinical at that second office?
I started out 1 day a week.
Okay.
And what I did is 1 day a week, I would tell him, if it's 1, 2, 3 implants, I'll put them in right there.
Uh-huh.
And if it's more than that, I would say, look, let's go to my other office, And even the 1, 2, 3s, I would offer them that option. Hey, if you want to go to my other office, I'm a little more comfortable there.
And people
and some
do
people
whatever
like
you
get
want.
the hint.
Yes.
And go, oh, I want the doctor to be comfortable. Let me go there. And some like, well, I'm more comfortable here. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I gave him the option.
Yes.
Above 3, I didn't give him the option. Like, you either come there or you got to go.
Yep.
Something else. And the associates, they were allowed to do their own cases,
Yes.
of course, but anything they didn't want to do. So I would go once a week and get the referrals and do the cases there. And pretty soon, the associate were doing more cases. I cut it to half a day a week. And that's all I needed to do.
Yeah.
We just kind of compressed it because, when you just do like new patient exams, not all of them show up. So instead of scheduling them an hour apiece,
Yeah.
they start condensing them.
Now, this is something new to me, but how do you, and I think specialists do this a lot, especially orthodontists that might have 3 offices, 4 offices, 5 offices, and they go around different places. But this is new to a general dentist like me that's just working, one spot. How do you coordinate that schedule? Do you basically just have your office manager, you just say, make sure I'm at one place at once?
Oh, no,
so that way I
it was
don't
set
get...
time. It was a set time. It was Monday afternoons was Hallandale.
Okay, so yours was set.
Yeah, so it was originally Mondays,
Yeah.
all day Monday, and then later became Monday afternoons. Mm-hmm. So just a set schedule.
Yeah.
And, sometimes a complete full, and occasionally it wasn't complete full, like anything else.
At this point in your career, how much clinical are you doing? I mean, it'd be okay if you said 1 day a week, but I mean, I imagine that you do,
I do three and a half
three and a half. No kidding. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I would have, I don't know, I just would have thought that maybe at some point, you'd be like, I'm going to rest on my laurels, but you keep pushing.
I love it.
Yes, you do.
Okay, and there's a question that someone asked me more than once. A lot of folks asked me, which do you prefer? Do you like the teaching and the seminars better, or do you like the patient care better?
Right. Yes.
I'm like, yeah, I both. I mean, I can't give up either one.
Do you think that's something that your culture? It's what I've heard before from a guy named Ravi Zacharias, and he talks about that Indian culture is more a both and instead of an either or culture. So when you get asked that question, do you find that you're just like, yes?
Oh, I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but I want to do both, and thank God, I feel like, and part of it, I kind of feel like I was given this gift as far as my hands.
Yes.
And gifts like that, when people say your superpower, I mean, that's like my superpower.
Yes.
These hands to be able to cut and heal.
Yes.
And I really get emotional about this.
Yes.
I'm like, why would I take God's gift that was given to me and not use it?
That's right.
Okay, that's truly how I feel about it. For me to take that gift and not use it, like that would be like sinful.
Yes.
And it's not about money at all.
No.
I have the charity clinic in Dominican Republic.
Right.
And when I go down there, because there's a charity clinic and also training for our doctors.
Yeah.
But for me to operate, I don't need training on things.
Yes.
And every time I
You're
go
there
down
to mentor.
Yes,
Yes.
but every time I go down there, I usually go down a day or two early just to check on things, do
Yes.
administrative things. But I always tell them, book me 5-6 surgeries. I'm just going to do it myself.
Yeah.
And so when I'm operating this 3.5 days, it's not about making money in Miami, although I do
No.
for that. But when I go down and do it in Dominican Republic, it's zero on making money. It's
Yeah.
just because I want to help, I want to heal, I want to take care of this gift that I was given.
Because most people would be happy retiring off of even like from your PRP stuff. I mean, that alone would set you at the bar where most people would retire, or wish they could retire. But that was even just, like in the early halfway through your career kind of stuff. You've taken it from there, and now
again,
it's a legacy thing.
At a certain level, people are working for money.
Yes.
And then a certain thing for enjoyment.
Yes.
I have a different thing. I like a different level. It's like a calling.
Yes.
And so when you have a calling, I mean, I'm not going to turn my back on a calling.
Yeah.
And so no, I'm going to keep on. If I can't see, if my hands start shaking,
Yes.
then I stop cutting.
But until that day,
yes.
Right. What's it look like for you? I think a lot of people would want to know. So if you can shut it off, You actually come across to me like as good of a mentor as you are as a shy guy inherently, that you push yourself out of your bubble to be.
Oh, I'm completely shy.
Right. So
complete introvert.
So what's that look like then for you if you get home, you're in your own, sanctuary? And I mean, is it a book? Is it rest? Is it a football game? Like what's your thing? And you can't say anything dentistry. There's got to be something that you actually enjoy.
No, so that's what happened. So, one of the weird things, people go, well, the travel must be terrible. But actually, in a way, what happens is that 5-hour flight when I'm alone, I'm actually recharging.
Big time.
So others might be saying, look, that's the part exhausting. No, I just did a 2-day seminar. Yes. Now I got 4 hours. Yes. Cell phone is off. Emails are off. Okay, I don't want other people around me. I'm not conversing with them. Yeah. For an introvert, that's perfect time.
Absolutely.
Watch a little movie or read a little book.
Do you know what's amazing? I mean, you know this about me. I'm an extrovert to no end, right? Yeah. But I still love the travel part. Right. We did a Disney cruise right after Christmas with the family. And the following weekend, so I got home, I worked 3 days real quick, took off for a conference. And this sounds bad, but I actually was kind of looking forward to resting because, when I got on the airplane and then went to the first day, of course, and then I think I got in bed at 8 o'clock because I was just like, so you get that. You get, that it's nice to get down and mentor with people, and then it's also nice to get away and have some.
So to recharge is, what I used to do is I used to read a lot of books. Yeah. These days I've cut back on books as I've gotten older, and I think it just probably is. I just want to strain my eyes.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is, and a lot more. What replaced it also is Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me ask: have you watched The Last Kingdom?
Yes.
Do you not love that? I am Uhtred, son of Uhtred.
Yes.
It's like those swords and stuff. I love that show. Yeah.
So a lot Netflix, and then now there's competitors to Netflix, and so you got like Amazon Prime, and you got like this, and you got and I'm subscribing to all of them.
You're like, whatever, Disney Plus, let's do it.
That's another $9.99 a month. Okay, fine.
The Mandalorian,
Yes, yeah, of course, Mandalorian. Yes, I had to get that for that. Yes.
Of course.
Yes, and so that's replaced it. A little bit working out. I'm not crazy about it, and that's not.
Wait, so tell me, like working out, are you? A lot of people are either into the lifting more or the cardio more, or is it like stretching yoga kind of stuff? What do you like doing?
I'm into lifting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not a big cardio. I get bored.
You're like, okay, I'm 20 minutes in.
Yes,
Screw this.
I had ADD. Okay, so I can't be on a treadmill or Stairmaster. I'm going bonkers.
That's awesome.
So weights is. Not that it shows, but that's what I do.
Well, I mean, you're doing it appropriately for yeah. So, what makes a good dentist into a great dentist, so far as you're concerned? I mean, obviously continued ed, but like, what about it? If you had an associate coming in, if you were to be like, man, I really want to take him under my wings, this is what's going to make a good dentist into a great dentist. What is that? What is the special sauce? That's
an interesting question. I don't know if there was ever a thing.
But
I know that like people because most of my associates, almost all of them have been hired from my courses.
Oh, okay? Yeah.
So I have a very kind of interesting model because when you hire someone, typically it's a half hour, 1 hour, maybe 2 hour interview.
Sure.
And during the interview, you say, "Will you come on time?" Yes. Do you not do this? Yes. 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 Yes to everything.
Right.
Well, my basic continuing course is 8 days long, as you said, 4 weekends. So 8 days long. So I get to observe them for 8 days.
Right.
And if they come on time for class 8 times, okay.
The little things. Right.
I know if they show up on time. If they pay attention in class and taking notes versus fidgeting with the phone.
So interestingly.
So I get all the things you're trying to judge in a half-hour interview.
Yes.
I have 8 days times 8, 64 hours to judge.
Yes.
Oh, okay. 8 opportunities to see if they're on time. 8 opportunities to see if they leave early.
Yes.
8 opportunities to see if they come back from luncheon time.
So funny enough, no attendee who a majority of them are going to be practice owners, so they're not even thinking about that kind of stuff. No attendee is probably thinking, oh, I should probably show up because he knows whether I'm showing up or not. And sure enough, you're like, no, I don't know about other speakers, but I know. Right. You know.
Right. Because I'm looking out for that.
Yeah.
And but I can spot the ones that I say, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be a good addition. They may not be interested in the locations that I have, but I can always, and I mentioned to that team, like, wow, so-and-so would be a great addition to the team, or so-and-so would be a great addition to the team. It's probably the same things you pick up on.
Of course.
You got a restaurant.
The intangible stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
You see a waitress and you go, man, she would be great at the office.
Yes.
We could teach her the dental assisting part. Man,
Yep.
it's great. And so, and what that is all of those things. It's, the best is if they got great skills
Yes.
and great attitude.
Yep.
Okay.
Then you can train from there.
Yes, you got those. Now, next best might be great attitude, not great skills. So you got to train on those
Sure.
skills. Next best would probably be great skills, not great attitude.
I
which is
suppose.
unfortunately
Then
what
you
a
give
lot-
them a shot.
Which is unfortunately what a lot of offices have.
Yeah.
Okay. And the worst is, of course, no skills and no attitude.
And they think they're a big shot.
Yes. Okay. So out of the 4 categories is 4, of course, no office is putting up with. They find it. But a lot of offices, we all get stuck at the number 3. Great skills. We're scared to lose them because great skills and bad attitude.
Yes.
And we should be shooting for, of course, the first category, great skills and great
Yes.
attitude. Those are diamonds in
They're
the rough,
rare
of
ducks.
course.
Yeah.
Very, very rare. So if I can't have that, then I'll take the great attitude because I can teach the skills.
Yes.
You can teach the skills.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for great attitude. And what would great attitude be? Uptone, upbeat.
Yes.
Okay, effervescent.
Yes.
If I had to sum up a word, is someone that comes across as effervescent.
And I imagine,
Upbeat,
too,
uptone.
that you want someone that if you said, if I brought my family in and I was unable to do this treatment, he'd be the kind of guy, she'd be the kind of guy that I would want, kind of girl, that I would want to be able to do this kind of treatment, right? I
Yes.
mean, yeah.
But the type of person is, you're talking, they're laughing.
Yeah.
They're smiling.
Yeah.
Just inherently smiling. Okay, that's just
Yeah.
a natural state of mind for them.
Right.
Okay, you're always smiling.
Right.
You're always laughing. Okay?
Well, and that's why we connect, is
Yes.
because out of
okay.
the other people that you connect with, and I just think of Gene too.
Yes.
Gene's
Gene's
your
always
good
smiling.
friend. Well,
There
he's
you
so
go. Always
genuine,
smiling.
and
Always
and-
laughing.
Yes.
Okay.
And always,
the thing doesn't
you know
have to be
what?
the most funny thing out there. It can be slightly funny. He's
Yes,
laughing.
and you know what? He's always grateful too.
Yes.
I'm not even if I'm around him.
Yes.
And you're not even around, he'll say, that Dr. Garg, I'm just so thankful for, and it's just amazing because who talks like that?
Yeah, gratitude.
Right, but I mean, that's so important.
Yes.
Yeah. I know you've got people to meet up with, and so I've got just one more silly question that we ask all of our guests. You have to choose one or the other, bacon or eggs?
Eggs.
Eggs?
Yeah, easy.
Easy? Why is it easy? You're like, I like eggs.
Yeah, I like
Leave
eggs.
me alone, Chad.
First thing in the morning. No dead animals first thing in the morning for me. Thank you. Later in the day, it's okay.
Well, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here at the symposium, this being the second time and
That was
stuff.
fantastic.
So if I tell you what, after the first one, you could have said, hey, Chad, great job, but you're never speaking again. But the fact that you had me come back, that's really awesome.
And
It was-
there's tons of compliments.
Good, thank
Tons-
you.
tons of compliments.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have some good engagement, but I want that. I want to, you might know this about me, but I love mentoring people, and for what my skill set is, I like being able to, when people will shoot me an email, I'll send them as much as I can because I want to be an open book. If we all are collaboratively helping each other as a community, we get so much better. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of the dentists that aren't able to chime in on this, but there's thousands, as you know, for making dentistry better and making our lives better, not just as dentists, but then as for the community. That's a big deal. So thank you very much for the legacy that you've left.
Fantastic. Thank
So,
you.
all right. Well, let's wrap up with our Everyday Practices podcast. Thanks so much. And I'm going to shut off the me talking. Dr. Garg, thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Bring your lunch or take us to the gym again next week to improve your everyday practices. Also, subscribe on iTunes, follow us on social media, and sign up for our email list. Now get out there and win with Everyday Practices.